Today, we're going to try to solve a systems of equations word problem. To do this, the first thing we need to do is identify the variables and which one is the independent variable and which one is the dependent variable, so we can graph them. So taking a look at the problem on the left, pause the video and read it. Okay, we are looking for what is changing in the problem. The first sentence gives us some big clues. Scientists studied the weights of 2 alligators over a period of 12 months. By focusing in on the words in the sentence, we can see that the weights and the months are the things that are changing. The alligators are still the same alligators. The scientists haven't changed. It's the weights and the months that are changing. So let's write that down. So, weight. What's the unit of weight in this problem? Because we need to put some type of unit with each of these items. Well, reading further in the problem, we can see that the unit of weight is pounds. So we can say that we are measuring the weight of alligators in pounds as one of the variables. Now let's look at the second one. The second one is a unit of time, months. We are looking to see the months of growth. Please pause the video and copy all of this information down into your notes. So in order to identify variables, we are looking for things that change in the problem. Make sure you have this in your notes. Pause the video if necessary. So, let's go back to the problem now. Suppose we use letters to represent these variables. I would like to use the letter W to represent the weight of the alligators in pounds. And I'd like to use the letter T to represent the months of growth. Please pause the video and put this into your notes. Okay, so now that we know that the weight is W and the time, the months, is T, we need to identify what things in the problem are also given to us. What other pieces of information? Well, we can see that there's initial weight and growth rate for each of the alligators. So for the first alligator, alligator 1, we see that the initial weight is 4 pounds. And we see that the growth rate is 1.5 pounds per year. Excuse me, per month. We see for the second alligator that the initial weight is 6 pounds, and the growth rate is 1 pound per month. Please pause the video and copy this into your notes. Now we have to identify the independent and dependent variables. Let's take a look to see what those really mean. Independent variables are not affected by anything in the problem. Dependent variables are affected by the independent variable. So in our problem, we have our two variables of weight and months. So, does the weight affect the months, or does the months affect the weight? Pause the video, write down what you think. By plugging these words into our definitions, we can see that the weight is affected by the months. The months are not affected by anything in the problem. So the months are the independent or x-axis variables, and the weight is the dependent or the y-axis variables. Please pause the video and copy this into your notes. So let's start pulling some of these ideas together. We're going to let W equal the alligator weight. We're going to let T equal time in months. We're going to look at a line in the form of y equals mx plus b. Y is the dependent variable. X is the independent variable. M is the slope, also known as the rate of change. For each alligators, there is a different rate of change. Alligator 1 has a rate of change of 1.5. Alligator 2 has a rate of change of 1. B is the y-intercept. In other words, when x equals 0, or in our case, when the independent variable, months, is 0. That would be the initial condition, the starting point, which we also have for each alligator. Alligator 1, the starting point is 4. Alligator 2, the starting point is 6. Please pause the video and copy this into your notes. So we can write the following two equations. Alligator 1, weight equals 1.5t plus 4. The weight, the dependent variable, is equal to 1.5 times time, the number of months that has gone by at 1.5 pounds per month, plus the initial weight of 4 pounds. Alligator 2, weight equals 1t plus 6. That is, weight of the alligator equals 1 pound per month of t plus the initial 6 pounds. Now that we have our two equations, we can graph them on an x and y axis and find their intersection point. Please pause the video and do this in your notes. Great. You can see that they intersect at 4:10. That means after t, whoops, backwards, sorry, is 4, the weight is 10. So after 4 months, their weight is the same. Please pause the video and copy this into your notes. So our final answer needs to be written in a sentence. After 4 months, both alligators weighed 10 pounds. That's how we answer the question. After how many months did the alligators weigh the same? Please pause the video and copy this final answer into your notes.